Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw tips and tricks, and this video might not help you, and it might. Somebody, I'm really impressed that they drew this. I found out now. But it's got some CMYK colors. Doesn't really matter, but if some of these CMY colors are white, they're going to engrave a little bit. So you really need to have them transparent or something else. So let's just take one of these white items and make it non-white. And I'm going to set my nudge factor. I've got my yellow box locked, and I've also taken off your border for a second. It's behind the scene. So I'm going to click that up twice. I'm going to click this up twice. And you see what the problem is. You got a white area. So I am going to select it all and left click no fill, right click outline in black. Then I'm going to take this area and I'm going to left click no fill. And then I'm going to put this back. And it does change your graphic because that was white a while ago and it was showing. So you might want to move it up a little bit. And then just take your Smart Fill tool, set on black, fill this in and fill that in, and now it's not a complete circle because the complete circle was white. And there's a few other things like, and it's just a pet peeve of mine, so you could do the same thing here. Now with these gray items, let's see if we can ungroup this. I would do the same thing with the white that we did with the gray. I would left click, right click, and make an outline. Take this item, left click, right click, take this item back, and then fill this back in with black. And now you've got it clear. And that might not be your goal. I couldn't even wait for her reply. There's one more thing I would do, but it's really a pet peeve. And the same thing with this white. You know, just move it up. Left click, right click, move it down, left click, right click, and then fill this in with black. And also you got that line through there, and whether you want that line or not, we can back up and take that line out with the virtual segment delete key because it should stop on your edges. I don't even know, you might want the line on both sides gone. I'm just saying, since you took a lot of time to draw this, and this would have taken a lot of time. The only other thing I see that I would personally change a little bit is that these two boxes are so close together that that's not going to engrave. And it is so close together that the wood is going to burn away. So one way you could do that is just set your nudge factor on something low and grab that all and just nudge it down just a little bit. Give it some wood between there. Or even, I haven't even found out yet if it's plastic or oil or, oil. I was reading this, acrylic or wood. This is pretty neat. It has gauges on both sides. Now, the only other thing I would do, and it's my pet peeve, same thing with this white, but I'm not going to waste people's time on that. What I would engrave the grays on a second run, I would move all these, well, remember, whenever you move something lightly, move it back. Let's set our nudge factor on like 10 inches. And let's move this gray off. Well, let me start over. You're probably not going to engrave it in the center of the page. And I'm going to have to unlock my yellow. Unlock it. Matter of fact, we can take the object, that out of the way now. You're not going to probably engrave this in the center of the page. So I'd put it up where you're going to engrave it, supposedly. And this object is 20 inches across. So make your nudge factor 22. Take this gray and move it off the screen. Move that off. I don't even know what I moved. Trying to zoom in here. Yeah, I moved the wrong thing. I didn't want to move that. See, you put a color on top of a color, and that might work, but it's not going to show up, in my opinion, when you engrave it. I'd actually put these back. Whoop, I guess you can't. Yeah, these are connected together, so you could go to object. Well, maybe I'm not going to ungroup them and put the rings back. These aren't going to engrave two different colors or lighter. You'd have to do them in separate passes. So let's say we got all the grays out of there, and there might be a few more. And like this ring, you know, if you really want that ring gray, as in your design, I'd move it out of the way in all these parts that are gray. Whoop. Let me just zoom in here. And because we're only nudging them one time, it shouldn't matter. Now, run this whole job at whatever speed and power you're going to do. It's going to take a long time, but I would run this like at 100 power, 50 speed. I mean, go deep. And then put these items that are gray back. So take this out of the way. And I've done several videos on this. Take all your items and move them back and run this at a different power and different speed. You know, run it at 100 power at 90 speed. You know, and then maybe even, you know, 400 dots per inch. Make it a little bit different. And if you want these in two different colors, I would run that separately too. You can do that once a file's there, but I find it easier just to move the stuff out of the way and try to run it. Now, this is just my opinion, but it would really make the plaque stand out. If it's wood, if it's acrylic, probably won't make any difference. But other than that, it's a great drawing. Hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for watching.